Welcome to Ask GMBN. Welcome to Ask GMBN this week, where we have got the whole crew.
Everyone's in.
Oh, yeah.
Resplendent, and we're multicoloured.
Fine.
We've got everything, all the information GMBN has got to offer for you in answering your questions. Dottie, how have we found those questions?
Oh, we get them if you send them into ask@gmbn.com or if you comment below.
And of course, you can use the hashtag AskGMBN. We've got lots of great questions this week. Let's get straight into it. I'm going to test you guys out. First one, I'm not sure about this question. Leo Graham, can you manual a unicycle? I'm not
But
sure.
you're pedalling, so you're not manually.
I think we're getting trolled here. People are talking about fixies.
Right.
They're pulling our
Wrong
legs.
channel.
We're being had here, but I think, Leo, this question has backfired on you if you are trolling us on what you can and can't manual, because Dottie reckons you can do it. It can be done.
Technically, yeah, because you're on one wheel, and if you're not pedalling, you can. So if you fit a free wheel on one, which you can do.
Yeah. But can you
wheel.
actually not pedal and make a unicycle go along?
Well, once you're going along, you can. Yeah.
How do you know like a unicycle with a freewheel? How do you know which side to get on it? Which was forward and which way's back?
Oh, yeah. There's a saddle.
Saddle.
Saddles.
An arrow on
Right.
the side.
I've also seen Chris Holm put his feet up on the crown, and the pedal's like. Going down the
Whoa,
road.
imagine
That
catching
is
him.
crazy.
No.
So,
Anyway, wrong
Leo,
channel.
potentially you can manual a unicycle, we think. And we would love to see some video of you trying. That's what we'd like. Red Panda says, why don't you see any plus size downhill bikes? Now, this is an interesting question. He thinks it's got extra grip, extra momentum. He can't see a reason why not.
Extra weight.
Extra punctures.
Oh,
Both of those.
okay, but
Why
I mean,
extra
why
punctures?
extra punctures? Yeah.
Well, they're not thick enough. The sidewalls on a plus tyre are relatively thin to keep the weight down, and if you made them thick enough, it'd be a big, heavy tyre. I do think
extra
there's an
weight.
argument for something in the middle. Like, I think we might see it 2.6 or a proper 2.5, where it is not quite plus.
Okay, and where would we consider a plus tyre? What size is that?
2.8 upwards.
2.8 upwards. So probably not that big, but somewhere.
It was 3 inch to start with, but the
Gives a
industry
lot.
kind of settled on 2.8, so it
Right.
handled a bit better.
What do they call it? It's called a mid-fat, so it have
Yeah.
to be super mid-fat.
I think we've
standard,
ended up
yeah.
at a maybe there. That's what I think we got to, is that maybe we're going to get bigger tyres in downhill. Bodie Brian Boy says, I am 143 centimetres tall and I'm looking for a new bike. What tyre size should I get? And is an Orco a good brand? Now, I think by what tyre size, we think he's asking what wheel size.
Yeah.
I think so. So
Yeah.
one that's relatively short, isn't it? I suppose. So although people say 29 is off for taller riders, I'm not totally convinced. So I'm average height.
Yeah.
So I'm 5'10".
Say average? Slightly below.
Exactly average.
So yeah.
And
Taller than
29 is fine for me, but
Yeah, the only limitation is how
27.5
small the
is,
frame can be.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the XC women races at World Cup are riding 29ers, and some of those girls are really, really small.
tiny, yeah.
Yeah, really small.
yeah, it looks like they sit in the bike
Yeah.
rather than up on it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
A 20, so you could go for a 29, but what would you recommend? I mean, I would say 27.5 to most people at the moment.
27.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
I would say 29 to most people at the moment.
Would you?
But look at
I'm
this.
loving 29 at the moment.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
okay.
a conflict.
There's no right or wrong though. Both wheel
No,
sizes
yeah.
work really well for whatever
Yeah.
you're going to do.
There's no right or wrong, but I was right. Okay, next question. Audran Ryan says, air keeps coming out of my rear suspension. How can I fix it, or do I have to buy a new one?
Sounds like he's blown a seal.
Oh
Yeah.
no, is that
Send it off.
It done?
Surface pretty much.
Get a
As long
service.
as it's a mid to higher level shock, if it's a cheaper bike with a cheaper shock on it, you might find that blowing it is the end of it, and you might be better off upgrading your shock.
Right,
sure.
right,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, well, so might need a tune, possibly need a new one, but while we're on the subject of shocks, let's take a look at our video where we delved into how to tune a rear shock.
The air shock is the most common form of shock seen on the average mountain bike these days. The reason for that is it's lightweight and it's easily adjustable for a whole wide range of riders. In addition to that, you tend to have 2 damping adjustments, rebound and compression. So we're going to demonstrate with a couple of Fox shocks and a RockShox shock that are quite common these days and show you how to adjust your air volume.
Welcome back. Next question, Martin.
Right, next question is from Kumud Nakami, and he says, W240, what does it do? How do I properly use it? And can I use it to clean chains? That's a good question, because lots of people are not necessarily using WD-40 for the right thing, because it's actually an amazing product, but it's very specific.
Let's start with the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
WD-40 is water displacer 40, so it took 40 goes to get the formula correct.
Yes.
Its whole purpose, the way it was designed to start with, was to drive out water and provide basic lubrication to stop things corroding.
Right.
Basic lubrication.
Yeah.
I use it a lot.
Yeah.
Or after washing my bike, chain's still a bit dirty, I spray it down with that, then get a rag and clean it all off, and then lube it up.
Yeah.
But they do degreaser.
Yeah, they've got a dedicated bike range now, so
Chain,
although
gear
you
and
can
chain.
lubricate and clean with WD-40, its sole purpose isn't to lubricate or to clean.
Right.
So you can get more specific products for that.
So let me get it straight. So if you're going to clean your chain, what point would you use WD-40? You cleaned your chain off, then you WD-40,
To drive out any water that's there.
and then you would grease your chain.
Well, then I would
Lube it.
Lube your chain.
dry it, then lube it.
Yeah.
Lube your chain. Right, okay. So it's part of the process, it's not the final part of the process.
It's a multi-use product.
Yeah, multi-use. John Galvin says, when you said that the shock will blow up, this is referring to a question we had last week, what do you mean by blow up? So I guess maybe John's thinking, am I sat on something that's about to go boom?
I'm always worried about that as
Yeah,
well.
I mean,
I've
do they
never
go,
blown a
do they,
shock,
when
but
you say blow up, do they explode?
does it go
There
boom?
has been a few cases of that.
Oh,
But generally, I mean, it'll be blowing your seals out.
right, so, but there wouldn't necessarily be a fire and devastation.
Hot oil.
It'd be a miracle if you get fire out of one of those. I think.
Back in 1998, I had a Fox Vanilla, was it? Fox?
Yeah, really.
On my Kona Mano, and it had blown, and there's oil coming out of it. So I had it, I don't know why, in my bedroom. I was fiddling with it, and it exploded, and it filled my room with oil. There was a shadow of me.
Brilliant. Well, John, I hate to say it can happen.
Well, I'm not.
But it sounds rare. It sounds rare. I wouldn't worry too much. But usually, I guess, just for safety, most
All
shocks,
shocks
if
have
they
a warning on
go,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
would generally
don't exceed
be
that.
quite a delicate situation. Okay. Mikey Board is broken. Is asking, guys, how to calculate the speed to jump over a gap. So he's, for example, if he's got a 1 to 2 meter gap, how does he calculate the perfect landing and speed?
Well,
That's
it's
a very
simple equation for this, Martin. It's mass times velocity divided by gap. I think.
Is that right?
No.
You had me there. I was like, wow.
I was like, well, I was trying to work it
had
out.
no-
Quite good,
After
actually.
all this time, I could have just been working it out on my
It's got to
computer.
be experience, surely.
Yeah, it's experience. You got to
Yeah.
just work your way
You're
up.
the gap man, Blake. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you got to work your way up. Start off small, and then you know exactly how fast you have to go to hit 3 feet. Then you can know after that, right, go a little bit faster to hit 4 feet.
Yeah.
Then you go a little bit higher, and just getting comfortable.
You've got
with
to ride
going.
like, and of course, every takeoff makes a huge
Yeah.
difference to the gap you're
Steep.
trying to jump.
And if it's
So
wet, if it's dry,
Yeah.
if it's hard
Yeah.
packed.
there's no easy answer, I'm afraid. You just got to get out
just
there
gotta
and
do it.
ride, and you start to understand the different speeds required and techniques, and that's what it's all about. That's actually riding. That's the fun bit.
You might have a few face plants on the way.
There'll be some
Yes,
fails for sure.
Yes, but
I've
Blake's
done
given
it.
us some great advice there. So let's jump to his video on how to build if you're a beginner, a mountain bike dirt jump and get started on hitting those takeoffs.
Whoa, wow. Man, this location is sick. The dirt is perfect for digging in. Today is the day where I show you how to build a progressive jump, one that you can progress on and like just get all your skills up together. But first, you need one of these. The spade.
We are flying through this week's show. So many good questions. Here's another one from Peter Hartman. Great show last week. Thanks, Peter. Can you guys discuss what do you think about the bike industry will look like in 10 years' time? Will direct-to-consumer brands change the playing field of things? And will that change the price of bikes because lower cost of entry and things like that? What do you think, guys? What's mountain biking going to look like in 10 years?
Direct to
E-bike?
consumer's been around for a while, hasn't it? So I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
it's
more
been a while
people go
now.
that way.
Yeah. Is it changing the landscape of the industry though? Is it making
In the
bikes
short
more
term,
affordable?
I think it is, yeah. But I think it will always return to having independent bike dealers and stuff because
Yeah.
as bikes get more complicated, you're going to need that face-to-face sale.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
getting like with
You can't-
e-bikes and stuff for tuning and
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
E-bikes
Yeah.
are the big question mark at the moment, and
Yeah.
that will definitely change the dealers, just like you just
Yeah,
said.
yeah. I think e-bikes for me are the thing that's going to really change the landscape of mountain biking because when people ride those bikes, they get excited by them, and that is gonna get bigger and bigger. So that is gonna change things. But you can't underestimate the value of an independent dealer to talk to.
Yeah,
Like,
the local
your
bike
local
shops.
bike
The
shop.
local bike shop. You
Incredible
can't get
place
rid
to
of
hang
them.
out.
Can't
Yeah.
get rid of them.
Yeah, a big part of riding.
Support
for me.
them.
Hanging out at a shop, chatting about riding, and that sort of feels what mountain bike means to me. So I hope we don't lose that. Simon says, well, more of a suggestion than a question. Global Trials Network. Anyone? Anyone? Another suggestion, a Trials Week on GMBN. I love this guy. Parker Lyman, everything there
Trials Week.
sounds
There
There
right
could be
to
some
me.
good guests.
There could be some, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Trials has brought some great legends to
I
the
like it.
sport.
I like a bit of
Hans
trial.
Ray,
Hans Ray,
Libor Karas,
Libor Karras,
Martin
and
Horse.
Chris Ackroyd.
Martin.
Oh, horse.
Martin Horse,
He was
yeah,
amazing,
yeah. Danny Mack.
Yeah, enough of this. I tell you what, why don't we, while we're talking about trials, throw to a moment in Whistler where Blake and Doddy had a bit of a trials off, and I got to be very entertained. Welcome to my Whistler Trials Challenge.
It's heavy.
I wouldn't go that way, Blake.
It's close! Okay, it's the quick fire section. It is going to be fast. We're doing a clockwise direction. One question, one answerer. Guys, are you ready?
Ready.
No.
Sure?
He's
Right, here we go. First question is to Blake. Tom Schofield asks, how long does it take Doddy to do his hair before the show?
1 hour.
An hour. Neil, Sam Love says, why is Martin holding a tyre lever the whole
He's a
time?
fidget.
He's a fidget.
Doddy, Tobias Lawson Dick says, Doddy is very clever, isn't he? First question, so much knowledge.
Thanks.
This one's for me. Wesley, Doddy is a guru on MTB information. His insight and tips are spot on. You're a national treasure to the nation of MTB DIYs. That is all true.
That is true.
Title, that is.
No, you're doing well in
true, yeah.
quickfire this round. Right, next one is to Blake. Pierre Holt says, are Fox suspension and Fox protection apparel from the same company or are they separate?
Separate.
But are they from the same company?
No, same company.
Doddy knows history.
Let's go
He
to Doddy
knows
for this
history.
one.
There's two brothers, Jeff and Bob, basically. They started the company and then they split into head and tail.
Whoa.
Split.
So one for clothing,
Didn't
one
know
for
that. Did you know
suspension
that?
They were
components.
connected.
I
didn't know.
Fox.
This is quickfire, stop talking. Right,
Didn't know
Neil,
that's interesting.
Salamander Workshop says, I have to disagree with you guys. I think 26 will come back to Enduro.
You're kidding me.
Dimensional Nerve says, a stand-up wheelie can also be called a catwalk, Doddy.
What?
Oh.
He didn't know that.
I didn't know
We're
that.
telling him
Thank
stuff. And that is the end of Quickfire this week. Correct me if I'm wrong this week is going to start with correcting us when we were wrong.
Oh.
This is correcting me and Doddy from last
There's
week's
gonna be
Ask
a lot of
GMBN. Marlon Profub says, this is about whether you could manual a fixie or not. And he's saying, well, you could just stand on the chainstays and therefore you would be manualing a fixie.
You could.
It's a fair
Yes.
point. Okay, next up, and correct me if I'm wrong, are these videos. First one is from Michael Hock. It is of his 8-year-old nephew, Jasper Martin, in California. You guys, you're going to love this.
Is he going to take over our jobs?
You're
It's
going to
cool
love
already.
this. What can he do to correct this?
A little youth.
He's going
He's
for
a
it.
tiny little
It's all in
dude.
slow-mo because we want to build the tension.
Why, he's
But
going for the
I
big
think
side?
if you can see it's going wrong.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, is he
Oh
gonna stay
my-
on? He stayed on.
Oh, he's
No,
Oh,
wait.
wow.
Now, it's going to be a
that's a
big
big-
crash.
Oh,
This
tank
is a-
slapper.
Oh, his ankle.
Wow, it's a big crash, Jasper.
Oh, dude.
That is a big
Oh,
crash.
that's
Oh,
a big
full digger.
crash.
Wow.
Oh, the little guy got around that bike.
Well, I tell you what that was very entertaining.
That's
was.
a
It was an
buckaroo.
amazing
Hope he's
crash.
alright.
That was a big jump. I would say on a small bike like that, maybe back it down a little bit to a smaller jump and learn how to get a bit more height.
Yeah. But I mean, you were committed. You went
Oh,
for
yeah.
that. That's what jumps require. And I tell you, hopefully you didn't get any injuries there, but you came down hard on that ankle. That was nasty. So if you got away with it, you did quite a lot of things right. Because it's not easy.
Tuck and
It's
roll.
not an easy crash to get away
He
with.
tucked and rolled.
That was nasty. Great stuff. Thanks for watching Ask this week. We really love getting your questions, so make sure you shove them in the comment section down below. You can send them to us on social media, #AskGMBN, or on our email, which is ask@gmbn.com. Doddy, can you think of one single video we've done that would just be great to throw these guys to now?
I can. I'll help here.
You can go
Click over here for how to night ride.
Oh,
Right,
there you go.
I want to put it over there.
Over here on 5 basic tricks to learn on a dirt jump bike or any bike out there.
That's great action to watch there. And if you want to subscribe, then hit the GMBN logo. And yeah, give some thumbs. See you next time.